Hi everyone, this is Marlena Marie. I hope you are having a wonderful day. I originally was intending to have some IRL footage for you, but that all got really bad, so I'm going to fix my camera and get back to you on that. For now, we're going to use the screen grabs of me basically creating my author bio, pen name bio sheets in my Notion. Essentially, I have 6 pen names that I'm going to be writing under. For the course of this video, I'm not going to go into the actual names of the 6 different pen names. I'm probably not going to introduce all 6 names until I actually have a book published under them. That's just to protect the pen name and also protect like the actual written titles that I have planned for all of them too. This is just to protect myself. So, but I will be going into the a little bit into the ways in which I'm going to start creating these pen names as well as how I'm going to start unifying them together. So, for first things first, 5 out of the 6 pen names are all authors in the 6th pen name. So, the 6th pen name is Marlena Marie. That's my name. That one's fine. Anyone can know that. Marlena Marie, that is going to be the name that I'm publishing like the mainline book series in, right? So this is where uh, all these other books are going to be interconnected. Different characters are related to each other. Different characters are talking to each other, etc., etc. Long-winded, many books, fantasy developed, wide range. We can go into that a little bit more once those books start coming out. But for now, it's just a web of different characters that are connected to each other. In that web, I have a variety of different books and different authors that have written those books, of which are 5 of the pen names, the other 5 pen names, right? So that is AA, EK, IC, BB, and LL. Now, LL is a romance writer, BB writes web novels, AA and EK are the fantasy writers, and IC also writes fantasy, but I'm still developing that author pen name a little bit more. The other 4 are kind of stabilized and finalized. In particular, EK and AA are going to be the first 2 that I am actually publishing books under. So the idea is that those 5, so AA and EK, for example, exist within the Marlena Marie universe. Like they are actual authors, characters in the Marlena Marie universe. They are publishing the same books that you will be reading in that universe, right? So, for instance, the first book that I'm publishing next year, which is going to be an AA book, is going to also be a book that exists in the Marlena Marie universe that other characters will talk about or other characters will have read or maybe make a reference to. Same thing for EK later on, right? EK and AA are going to be my 2 primary pen names for pretty much the longest time. I'm not going to really be publishing a lot of books under Marlena Marie until the EK and AA books are kind of out there. They have a lot more editing on them, a lot more work on them, and I've put a lot more effort into them. Originally, a lot. I was just going to not necessarily put them under different pen names. I was going to have it all under Marlena Marie. And these books have had out for a really, really long time, right? Or have had written for a really, really long time. And the ones that are under Marlena Marie, those ones are a little bit less developed than the ones that I have for these other pen names. So those are coming out first. And I think that that's okay because I will be really emphasizing the essential immersion because if you've read these other books, then when you read the Marlena Marie books and these characters are talking about those books, I can have those intertextual relationships between the 2 books that I've written. It's also great because then that does also means that I don't have to make references to other books that exist in our world, right? One of the things that's really important for the Marlena Marie universe is that while it is a similar world to our own, it is not our world with the same authors, with the same stuff. It's similar enough that it feels familiar, but it's different enough because there's magic and there's a lot of other things, right? So these books allow you to get their inside jokes, inside references without me having to make references to other books out here from other big name authors. So I am using this opportunity to allow myself to develop that sort of connection and engagement between the readers that would otherwise be just me telling you on the page that this is funny or that this is a reference that you need to understand. Additionally, having my books under these different pen names allows me to have a little bit more freedom for playing around with the character essentially that they are, right? I get to see how they interact with each other, how they interact with the world, and how their text interacts with people. I'm not going to say that I'm going to use exactly how reactions are from people, but if one book does really, really well, and another one is critically like panned, like that's interesting, and it could be also referenced in the books themselves, right? So it's a kind of give and take audience engagement will still be taken into consideration. Won't be saying I'm going to be quoting comments. I probably won't even be reading comments, but I will say that I'll be paying attention to that. So Marlena Marie is the main line, and the other five are pen names that exist within that world, but you're also getting their books. Now, AA and EK, like I said, are the first two that I'm focusing. AA will have the first book out, EK will follow shortly after, and those two will be focused on fantasy solar punk for AA and fantasy horror for EK. That's their general, I'm not going to say that that's all that they write, but that is their general vibe for each of them. Now, in these author bios on my Notion, I basically was just going through and creating information that I need to have that keeps the continuity between the characters aligned and keeps like the dates that they're born in the MM world and keeps the dates of when they publish books, etc., etc. Having all of that's really important so I don't, I guess, mess up in the future and say that someone published something earlier than they actually did. I need to have the exact like timeline of when they published, what year they published, etc., etc., etc. So that if I'm making a Marlena Marie reference, I'm not referencing a book that isn't technically out yet. All of that is to say that is what I'm looking at for going forward in the future for pen names. If you have any questions about them, you can ask. I cannot guarantee that I will be able to answer much as like I said, I'm trying to keep the pen names a little bit more of a secret until I have the actual books ready to go to print. But if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I will definitely be going more into each individual pen name as we actually have a book that comes out from them. So when the first book goes out for AA, I will have a bit more of it, a lot more of a deep dive into her character and the development of that pen name, why her name was chosen the way it was, etc., and what position she kind of has in the Marlena Marie universe. So that is it. I hope you have a wonderful Friday. I will see you here next week, hopefully with a much longer video. And have a great day. This has been Marlena Marie.